Hello, once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. And before we get to our unboxing today, I'm your host, Darth Tuba, by the way. Yeah, we have a lot of rain here. You can see outside my basement door. We've had, and if you can go back and see some previous episodes, we have talked about, having a basement collection can be a stressful thing when you live in a place where there could be flooding. Thankfully, I'm not in a place that gets crazy amounts of flooding, but I am in a place that does get, if there's biblical amounts of rain and it floods, well, it floods here too. So just to kind of look outside the window here, you can see that it's hard to make out, but it's been kind of this steady rain. Okay, and just so you're kind of aware here, I'm going to just kind of point this out. The way this basement works, I'm pretty fortunate with this, and I'll explain it. You can see here that when you go out the door, I don't know if you can look down there, there's a little hole in the wall there. This is just a staircase leading up right to the outside. But that little drain, I'm fortunate enough to be on a hill. And that, sorry, I almost dropped my phone. And that little drain actually drains out downhill to kind of a place where the water has a nice long area to flow into a creek way down, about a quarter of a mile down that way. So we're pretty fortunate. But nonetheless, if there's enough rain and enough water, there's no place for it to go. It starts to seep up from the ground. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of our contingency plan if that were to happen. So you can see here the basement, the flooring here, right when the door comes in. Okay, we just have a nice cement floor, nothing big. I have these kind of, picked these things up at Five Below. These packs of foam padding, which are great for a house where there is flooding, possible flooding, because if it floods, these things just kind of float, and you can just take them once the rain stops. Take them, throw them outside in the sun, dry them off, flip them over, dry them off. Good as new, no smell. Really good stuff. I highly recommend it. And they're easy to lift up. And I have this little hole here. This house does not have a French drain. It doesn't have a sump pump. But it does have this little hole drain. Now, I did put a stopper. There's a little drain there that goes out in this direction. Okay? Because this whole house, and I can see here when I show you the collection, you can see if you look up top, it's got pipes, okay? And these pipes are, they're pipes for heat. They're pipes for plumbing because we have a bathroom over here, okay? And because of that, this space is a livable space, right? Well, what happens if these pipes leak? Well, because of that, they had to build, this house was designed this way, so they had to build, this is a house from the 50s. They had to build this little drain, so. But in addition to that drain, there's simply the fact that if you open the door, the water will have to go somewhere, and once it gets up above an inch, it will simply start to leak out and kind of run itself off into that drain. So the main thing to do when this happens is to open the door. If I open the door, I'm good. But I put this little pump together, and if it starts to come up here, I do have a little alarm. You can see a little wire, that white wire, kind of hooking up over there. So it'll play the fur release. Dee 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 dee. If I get any water coming in, so I have time to actively prepare it. But then this can just simply run the pipe out, and if it starts to go, sometimes this water might come in heavy, and if it does start to come in heavy, I'm able to pump it. Or if I miss it, and if it starts to be, there have been 2 instances where we've been in about 6 inches of water. So that's why everything but you can look closely, with the exception of a few items down there, almost everything is up 6 inches for that very reason. So there you go. So yes, living with a collection in a basement can require, and usually does require, some maintenance and some extra effort whenever there is an excessive amount of rain. Thankfully, where I grew up, it would flood in even light rain, all you'd have to do is have some steady rain. It wouldn't anything past a drizzle, and the basement flooded. So our basement growing up was never a finished basement. It was just a basement where we stored stuff, and we stored stuff up high. So, and then we just opened up the garage door and let the water pour out. Grab a squeegee to help it along, and we had a sump pump, but sometimes the power would go out or whatever. So you just do the best you can with it. We never had anything more than a few inches, so we're fortunate in that sense. But this house, we've been pretty fortunate. We've only had 2 instances in 19 years. We've only had 2 where there was serious flooding. So I'm happy to be able to do that. Has it damaged the collection? Yes, it has. I won't lie. Has it damaged it greatly? No. I think that, frankly, we've survived far, far better than most people. I will say that it actually was responsible for the starting of this channel, and I've told this story before, but on previous, when it first happened, I think it was Hurricane Irene, I did not have this place prepared because I was very arrogant and thought, oh, this place will never flood. We've had so many bad weather. We've had melt off, we've had tons of snow, and we've never had any flooding. And sure enough, I woke up one morning early at 2 a.m. hearing a weird sound downstairs. I opened up the basement door, and I can see right at the bottom of the steps there is literally 6 inches of water everywhere. And I was like, oh boy. So I managed to find some wading boots from my dad, and I got a pump, and I started pumping stuff out. I started pushing it out with a heavy broom, and there were boxes and boxes of toys that were just completely destroyed. Now, the boxes were destroyed. So what I ended up doing is I threw everything outside until because they were ruined, so I didn't care. So I threw everything outside until the rain subsided, and then I cleaned everything up, aired everything out, and then later, like the next day or two after that, I brought everything into this room right over here, and I piled this pile of waterlogged Star Wars boxes. And I said, and I opened up one, and I said, this is okay. The toy's fine. It just got a little wet. But, there was really, aside from the box and maybe the instructions, there was nothing really bad about it. I'm not talking about vintage toys, by the way. I'm talking about like the 90s, 2000s. Some of those toys got unboxed. I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun. It was like Christmas morning. I was unboxing all my toys. So it was actually a really fun thing. And it inspired me to say, well, you know what? Let's start a channel, I didn't unbox those things on the channel. I just kind of started unboxing other toys, and that's kind of where it came from. So speaking of unboxing, you're here for unboxing? Look at that big monster behind us. If you recall, I had an episode of the Star Wars Unboxing Show where we were in Galaxy's Edge, and we had decided to make a purchase. So I'm here to show you that purchase, that main purchase, and do a little unboxing. So let's see. Now, Disney offers a thing, in case anybody knew this, and I take advantage of this quite a bit. Disney offers a shipping option where you can actually ship. In the case of Batuu, you can ship off-world, but in any Disney store in Walt Disney World property, you can ship your items that you purchase home. They used to have a thing where you can actually have it delivered for free to your hotel, which is a great feature, and I really hope they bring that feature back. But since pandemic, it's something that has had a slow return to normal. And I think right now you can bring stuff. You can have stuff delivered to the front of the park if you go shopping during the day, and then you leave it at the front of the park, and you can pick it up on your way out. But they haven't brought back the resorts yet. But they have brought back where you can ship it home. There is a cost for that, of course. There's a ground. You can pay for ground. You can pay for air, and there is a price. But I think it's worth it. I get 20% with my annual pass just about everywhere. And that 20% basically covers the shipping and more. There's a little bit more savings after that, but it covers the cost of the shipping. So to me, it's a wash. Now, if I'm in the summertime, I bring my car down, I'll bring the stuff home via driving it home. But on a shorter trip in the winter or the spring, I don't want to have to lug this thing around, especially something that's large, like the main item that I purchased here. All right, and that is this guy. Yes. Now there's more in this, but we're going to save the rest of what's in that box for another episode. Here we have this Droid Depot battle droid. An amazing piece of wonderful, wonderful droid design. And it's like, to me, the ultimate battle droid. So let's get going with this and let's start opening it up. I don't believe that a lot of these droid Galaxy's Edge and Droid Depot are going to remain that valuable in their boxes. They are not making these toys and accessories. They are not making them to create a collectible market. They're creating them to sell at, in en masse. So if 1 million people want to buy battle droids and whatnot, oh my god. Let's go high speed on this one. All right. So here he is in all of his glory. Although I just realized that he's got a piece of tape on his button, and it's like, I guess it's an on-off. Yeah, it looks like it's an on-off button. So obviously he's got some phrases, and we're gonna find, where do you press him for his phrases?
Oh, that's great. Prepare to fire. Blast them. All right, I'll check on it. I can't seem to hit anything. That was impressive. Affirmative. Jedi are coming. They look very unhappy. Don't move. You're under arrest.
So he comes with his standard battle droid blaster, and he's got a lot of points of articulation here, which I love because it allows you to pose him in all sorts of different ways. And as you can see, there is his, he can hold his gun fairly strongly. But there are two unique features about the battle droid that I absolutely love. So let's see. Now, the only thing is they don't come with any instructions, just a thing on the back. But the first thing we'll talk about is the fact that you can position him in fold-up mode, which to me is crazy. You can, the thing fits in the back like that.
I mean it. Stop.
So you
No.
Sorry, buddy. Gotta do what I gotta do. So okay, so you can set it up like this, and you can go activate the droids, and then
We're under attack.
and he can reach back and pull out his gun, which of course he can't really just go and do that, but still really cool stuff.
Hold it. Wait.
And then you have it, and boom. And does he pass the stand test? I'll bring him over this way just a little bit, and you can see. Now he's a little top heavy, so you got to be careful. But as you can see, get this little sign over here. There he is. Passes the stand test. All right, pretty cool. But let's talk about the real cool feature. Hang on one second. So,
it wasn't my fault, sir. Please don't deactivate me.
Apparently, if you recall, their heads are interchangeable. So, let's see what we can do here.
Protocol. Oh, stop that. You'll get disgraced. My head.
His head. All right, that's his head. And then, oh, just pops off. All right, and then,
Oh, stop that. You're going to strain something. My neck.
oh no.
Who's in charge? Not me. Begin attack.
Okay, only one complaint. Whoops. Only one complaint, Disney. Oh, well, maybe not. Hold on, let me see. Before I say too much, I have to...
Oh, my head. No, I will not be quiet. Why doesn't anyone listen to me? Well, don't blame me. I'm an interpreter. I'm not supposed to know a power socket from a computer terminal. Protocol. Why, it's my primary function set.
So when you plug his head in, it's the...
Dear, do you know, I think I'm beginning to get the hang of this flying business. Let the Wookiee win. Oh, where is R2 when I
Just
need
trying to
him?
see if they have any...
It wasn't my fault, sir. Please don't deactivate
It's
me.
pretty much lines from the
I
movie.
can assure you they will never get me onto one of those dreadful starships.
All right. What happens? But I was hoping for die, Jedi dogs. What did I say?
The possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately
All right.
2,720 to 1.
Let's... how do I get it out? Okay, my only problem is getting his head off.
Well, at least you're still in one piece. Look what happened to me.
Okay, well, now, out of curiosity, let's see if this goes the other way. I'll have to come back to that and see if I can get it.
Of course I look. I can't bear. Dear.
So far,
Oh, yes, that's very good. I like that.
all right, his head. I guess you have to kind of be. Yeah, I don't see. It doesn't look like you can actually lower his head in it. I could be wrong. It could just be a little tight. I wonder if there's like if I go backwards. No, you can't spin it. So yeah, so you can position his head on here like the original, like in the movie, but I don't think he.
Of course I look better.
I don't think, because, and again, I think that's a reverse engineer thing, because I don't think they built this first. So my only concern is, how do I get? I'm going to turn this off. I'm trying to figure out how to get his head off. I can't get his head off. It feels like, all right, well, whoops, and his leg just came out. Oh no! Well, that looks like just, yeah, that's just kind of a lock and groove thing. All right, well, mostly good, although kind of bummed that his head that 3PO's head is seemingly permanently attached. So I'm gonna look up and make sure before I force it out, I'm gonna just do some research and see if there's anybody who has any suggestions on good ways to remove the head without much thing. So I'm a little disappointed in that. It would have been nice to be a little more interchangeable, but overall, a pretty good thing. So let me do a little more research, and then I'll put a tag on the end of this video. Okay, so all is well, all is back to normal. I think 3PO might have lost his sense of sight, because it was very, very challenging removing the head. I am going to reach out to the Disney, customer service about this, because I do feel that the 3PO head might have been faulty, because it just didn't seem to want to function the right way. So we'll see. But again, it's a display model. It's fine. And the two of them kind of complement each other well. So that'll do it for today's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Tour. Kind of a hodgepodge, right? Lots of different stuff going on here. Flood preparation. Oh, and lots of little things. Oh, and one other thing that I forgot to mention. So this is a really, really strange episode, but how about that announcement of a Black Series Obi-Wan from the TV series, the upcoming TV series? That's pretty cool. I liked how they did that with Ewan McGregor kind of getting one. Of course, he was kind of making fun of it, so I'm sure Hasbro was like, "Oh, dude, you're not supposed to do that." But if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Jimmy Kimmel episode or watch the clip on YouTube. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's episode. Until next time, may the Force and the toys. Oh, what am I saying? Like, subscribe, hit the notification, you know all that stuff. Join Instagram, Twitter, @DarthTuba. Check out War of the Stars podcast. Lots of different stuff, all right? And if you want to support the channel some more, check out the TeePublic store with lots of cool Star Wars and other types of art. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.